Guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Enrique, and this is Easy Things to Draw. Today I want to talk about something pretty important. It's the importance of warming up, and I think it's one of the biggest differences I've seen between guys that get really good really fast and guys that don't. Some people just say they warm up, but in reality they don't really warm up. You know, they just kind of just do whatever. I want to kind of stress how important warming up is, and the reason is I'll give you 3 reasons why I think it's very, very important to warm up. Number 1 is it allows you to access your entire skill set. You know a lot of stuff, right? You've learned a lot of things in the past, I'm sure, from books and different tutorials and different things and all kinds of stuff, right? And you don't really immediately access that stuff on call. Most people don't, at least, So when you warm up, that allows you to kind of pull that stuff to the surface again. Kind of like when you learn a language and you're not so good at it, because you haven't spoken it for a couple of months, and then you're rusty at it at first, then you just start getting the flow of it. This is very similar to that. You start, again, this will allow you to kind of access these things that you already kind of have. It'll allow you to access your whole skill set a lot easier and more immediate. The other thing is it actually warms up your hand as well. The muscles in your hand there's like 2 parts to this game, right? It's mental and physical. Mental are the things that you know. The techniques that right? And then the physical would be how to pull your hand in a way that allows you to pull that stuff off that what's going on in your head, That's dexterity, There's things like that. Dexterity, line, pulling, really just mostly dexterity. And that comes from, again, the muscles in your wrist, hand, shoulder, elbow, stuff like that. Depending on how you're drawing, you're going to use one of those or all of those, I don't know. So it kind of warms up the actual muscles in your hand when you're doing this. The third reason is that you get fully immersed into your world. You're fully into this thing. Sometimes I just can't get into the subject matter that I'm doing. And I'm going to tell like a little mini thing here, mini anecdote. Sometimes I'm drawing and I just can't draw without TV, And don't worry, it's fine to draw with TV. But I find that when those moments that I drew without TV, without anything on almost, sometimes, just with music or something, those moments where I have nothing on, I'll be fully immersed into the character that I'm drawing. And it's almost like there's nothing else around. You're really immersed into your world. And I think that's when I really take steps forward in my creativity, is when I'm fully immersed into the world of my drawing. I know Robert McKee, he is a screenwriter. He trains a lot of screenwriters. And he was saying stuff like, do you ever get lonely? He had questions like, do you ever get lonely while you're drawing? No, I'm sorry. Do you ever get lonely while you're writing, right? And it's the same thing with us. Do you ever get lonely while you're drawing? Don't you get lonely? Like, no, because you have what you're drawing. That's keeping me company. That character that you're drawing is my company, not to sound psychotic. Anyways, so those are the 3 reasons to warm up. I think I warm up from 20 minutes to 30 minutes. I'm going to show you like just a couple of things that I do to warm up, like 2 exercises. One's super easy, the other one's a little bit more different. And one I've actually gone over before, and this is an easy one, right? Just do spheres, circles of different ways as well. Ellipses, eggs. I just do this, and I do it like both directions, the right and the left. If I'm right-handed, I guess it's more natural for me to do that. If I'm left, I do this. This is just a very simple, basic one. I just do a full page of them. Anyways, I don't want to bore you, but I would do like a full page of those, And that would be for dexterity. That was one of my dexterity exercises, And there's a couple of dexterity exercises. If I find the video, I'll link it. That's one that I do every single time to start out with. And there are some others that I do, but not often enough. But I'm just going to show you the 2 that I do all the time. That's one I do all the time. This one is, the next one's a little bit more difficult. You can do it I prefer to do it in pen, because I find that it's permanent, let me see, which one should I do it in? Should I do it in this pen? I'll try in this pen. This is a fountain pen. It's going to look pretty wild. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to lay my pen down and not take it off. I'm not going to take it off the paper at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw anything that comes to my mind. Not taking my pen off at all. So I'm drawing like, I'm going over maybe the human figure right there. You can see it's like this half doodle, half thing. I guess you have to take it off a little bit because I want to get to that other leg. But for the most part, don't take it off. And I'm going to do this for a while. I'm just going to do stuff that's in my head like that. Like I'll have like one thing right there, right? It's like this, just this messy figure kind of thing. And then the other one I'm going to do is I'll do like a head kind of. I'll go over the stuff I know. I'll go over like just stuff that I know, stuff that I've exercised. I'll go through like exercise that I've done, like proportion wise. And I actually learned this from an artist named J.P. Targete. Targete? Is that his name? He's a big illustrator online. I took a workshop with him in person. Really nice dude. Super nice dude. It was years ago, but I remember he taught me this, and I thought this was great. It really, really like it's like it's the way he had a really hard describing it as well. He had a hard time describing it. The way I would describe it is you're actually trying to jumpstart, you know, all that knowledge you got in your brain right there. You know, all the knowledge you know about drawing. You're trying to jumpstart it by kind of skimming through it really quick, you know, and then just kind of like doodling it down. And really, like I said, like try not to lift your pen at all, or as little as you can. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking of different things like body, head, like what is this? Like a castle, like a screwed up rock formation, something like that. Let's say like I do vehicle now. You know what I mean? And again, you're not lifting it. It's just messy. You're not thinking about it. This is why I do this on scratch paper. I always do this on scratch paper. I never do this in my sketchbook because I think it'd be too messy. But actually think about what you're indicating here. You're indicating stuff. You're not actually putting it down. You're indicating. Try to think about what you're indicating. So if I was to do this, I'll be thinking, oh, what is it, like a torch or something? Or maybe it's a microphone. I'm not really sure. And I actually feel myself getting warmed up a little bit, to be honest, right now even. I didn't warm up before. And I would do this thing. I do this for a full 20 minutes. And everybody, and you'll know, and it's weird, too. It's like you'll know when you're warmed up, kind of, if that makes any sense. I realize all this stuff is very meta, and like all this stuff sounds like ridiculous, but you know, you'll know when you're warmed up. You'll feel it. You'll be like, hey, I can draw that better. Or, hey, you know, like, now I know the process to this. Or, because I'm running through measurements of the head real quick. But, like, super quick, you know? Like, not even thinking about it. I'm letting my subconscious mind kind of, like, come out. What else is there? Head, animal. I don't know what animals do. You know, I'll do, like, the measurements of an animal or something. And I'm running through this super quick. You're doing a run-through of what's in your head. I mean, if it's not in your head to begin with, it might be a little harder. You know what I mean? But I'm running through what I know about animals. And again, this is just warming up. I'm not telling you this is the way you should train all the time. You know, this is just, again, a warm-up I do for 20 minutes before. This is like a warm-up I do 20 minutes before I draw any. I work on big pieces, you know, stuff like that. Don't get stuck on it either. You know, only do it for 20 minutes. You know, I would just max out at 20 to 30 minutes at most. But some people take longer to get warmed up, so it depends who you are. But I think by 20, 30 minutes, if you run through a lot of stuff, you know, should be fine. Like I said, try not to lift your pen from the paper, or lift it as little as possible. I guess you do got to lift it a little bit. It's like animal, person, building, whatever this is, head real quick. Like I'll just went over this crummy like vehicle, like, you know, maybe perspective, you know, like if I'm. Can you see that on the bottom there? Let me move that. You know, I'm running through, it's like quickly flipping through a book, but doing it through your knowledge. Anyways, I think I'm hammering this well enough, right? I hope. The idea of it. And these are things I never show anybody, by the way. I never, ever show these to people, ever, because this is just me running through, trying to dig through the trash in my head, trying to pull out some good stuff. This is just a starter up. So what I do with these, I tend to throw away my warm-ups, Sometimes I'll keep the warm-ups, or I'll have a sketchbook specifically for warm-ups, because sometimes you'll look at them later on and you'll be like, oh, that looks like a flaming building, or the stratosphere in Vegas on fire or something. You'll see it and you'll be like, I can take that idea and make it into something else. So some people do that, you know what I mean? I don't that much. I keep a couple. I do keep I have a stack of papers that are just, like I said, these really messy warm-ups. It really gets you out of the routine as well. Anyways, those are the 2 exercises I do every single time I know I'm going to be drawing for a couple hours. Every single time. And by the time I get through all this mess, right? Like I'm trying to run through my knowledge base and I do all this stuff. I go to my piece and I already feel warmed up. I already feel like, okay, I got my muscles warmed up in my hand. I got, this. I know this angle's this way. You do feel better, This is a very advanced thing. I really do admit that, because you do have to pull from a knowledge base that you already have to begin with. So try it out. Let me know what you think. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's like, this is just something that's helped me a lot. Like I've progressed so much faster because I do things like this. You know what I mean? Come up with your own. Do you have a warm-up technique? Because I want to hear it too. If you have a really good one, post it in the comments below. And yeah, I would love to hear it. I'm always looking for new ones. I actually know of a lot more that I might put on different videos that are for digital drawing. So anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you soon. Please share the video if you learned anything, and please like the video, and I'll talk to you guys later.